I'm the most original guy on YouTube, and I found me an original idea today. Don't ask me how I did it. Don't ask me where my ideas about side hustles for men come from, because I'm just super original and I refuse to give people my secrets, because all of my ideas, they always have to be 100% original. Okay? So let's get started with the video. So first off, guys, we gotta be real here. There are no jobs for men and no jobs for women, in the sense that if you go get a job, they're gonna be like, well, you're not a woman or you're not a man, you can't work here. Like, that doesn't exist, okay? But there are jobs, though, that men are more likely to do and jobs that women are more likely to do. So this video is about jobs that men tend to be more likely to do. But if you're a woman watching this secret video, the answer is who cares? Just do whatever you want to do. And if it's interesting to you, then it's a possibility you might want to do it. But most people that are women are more likely not to want to do any of these jobs that are in the video. So I can't be canceled now that I said that, right? Because I don't want to be canceled.
Nah, bro, it's no way.
Okay.
I think we cleared it up.
Great.
You good.
Great.
You good.
All right.
I think.
So in this video, guys, I found 10 solid side hustles that tend to be more likely for men to actually like and enjoy and actually want to do. Now, again, my definition of a side hustle is very common sense. It's something you can do on the side to earn money while you have, for example, your normal full-time job. And obviously, all these jobs are not going to be able to be done by average people that don't want to get any training. Some of them will be, though, because if anyone can do them, most likely you're gonna get minimum wage. If you have to have some training to actually get it done or some specialty, you're likely to be able to make a lot more money. And that's the whole point. We all want to make more money on the side. We don't want to make less money and just waste our free time. Makes absolutely no sense. So, as always, smash the like button. It helps a lot. And on top of that, also, if you're new here, subscribe and hit the bell so you're notified, because I do post videos all the time on investing money, saving money, and like this one, how to make extra money on the side. So subscribe to the channel and hit the notification bell so you get notified when I post a new video every single week, multiple times a week, okay? Now, the very first one, guys, is going to be a part-time firefighter. Now, again, this job I wouldn't do for the sake of the money. It's a job you might want to do if you're interested in actually doing it, saving lives, helping people. But I wouldn't do this job for money because it is pretty risky. It's a risky job. It's very challenging. It takes a lot of courage to do. And less than 5% of these people tend to be women, okay? Now, you're going to be getting paid around $12.50 an hour all the way up to around $18.27 an hour. So you get paid a decent amount of money. But again, you got to be interested in it, because I wouldn't risk my life for something I'm not interested in just to make some extra money. Like, that's just a little bit too much for me and my taste. But if you're interested in it, my pastor did this before he was a pastor, and he loved this so much. So if it sounds good to you, go ahead and give it a try part-time, and it might even become your full-time career also. Number 2 is a flexible software developer. Now, 80% of these jobs are held by us, which is pretty cool stuff, okay? But overall, the cool thing about being a flexible software developer is that it's not just on an hourly base, because you can make a lot of money, by the way, like $25 and up, and the average one makes around $70,000, and that's a lot of money. But even being part-time, you can be job-based, meaning you go on Upwork, you go on Fiverr, you go on Craigslist, you basically find some work somewhere, and you're able to do these projects where you can complete them in a few hours, on the weekend, from home, whatever you want to do, and boom, you're done. But it's not like you have to be there to perform hourly. You can perform based on work and earn money very quickly and make it. Obviously, you need to have, for example, some training. There are boot camps out there that take between 6 months to 12 months, but there are also programs obviously that take between 2 years to 4 years. But again, I don't see why, if you acquire this skill, you wouldn't want to do it full time, because there's so much money to be earned here. But if you just want to do it part time, that is a possibility. Again, boot camps between 6 months to 12 months to earn you $25 an hour and up. I mean, that is Amazing. Number 3, a part-time handyman. Now, forget about what you're thinking. Oh, I have to be a plumber. I have to do this and that. No, the answer is you can do simple things. For example, like hanging a TV, hanging a fan, fixing something around the house. My uncle and his friend do this, and they're bringing an extra 300 to 500. Well, his friend does it almost full time. My uncle does it part time. And my uncle brings an extra 300 to 500 bucks every weekend. And that's not bad at all. And by the way, they had a whole falling out thing because someone didn't pay someone, but now they're back to being friends. So that's a great thing. You love to see that. But overall, it's money to be made here. Now, before you say, Tommy, I want to do this, but where do I find the jobs at? Like, do I knock on doors? The answer is no, don't do that. That's weird, okay? But you go, for example, on TaskRabbit, you go on Craigslist, and you go also on Facebook with Facebook's groups, and you just ask people overall. And if there's work to be done, you can find it there. TaskRabbit, Craigslist, Facebook, asking people around. The answer is you can make an extra 300 to 500 bucks every single week, and that is good money, okay? Good, excellent money. I can't do it because I'm terrible at this stuff, but if you can, it is good money to be made here. Number 4 is construction industry. Don't just think about building houses. Think about, for example, painting houses. Think about, for example, also home remodeling. Whenever they're going to remodel a home, who do you think demolishes everything? Who do you think takes off the carpet? Who do you think does all that work? That can also be you. So doing those jobs can earn you easily some extra money, around 500 bucks extra per week. That's not bad if you ask me. And you also have, for example, just being a helper. So you go to one of these homes, to one of these construction jobs, and you're like, hey, I'm here, I'm a helper. What can I do to help? And they have you do all of those jobs that no one wants to do. But it's on the side though, and you get to earn some extra cash, okay? Extra dough is never a bad thing. And again, you can do it on the weekends, you can do it after work and so on. But these jobs, like the full-time ones, tend to be early in the morning so we get out very quickly. But on the weekends, you can earn some extra money, which is awesome. Number 5, you're probably going to be surprised here, but it's actually being a chef. We dominate that. Around 80% of chefs tend to be men. Now, just think about it, okay? Stop it. Stop thinking about culinary school. Stop it with the student loan stuff. You're able to just work in a restaurant during the peak hours. Now, when are those? Usually when people get out of work, late at night, also on the weekends. And that's usually when you're also out of work. So you're able to do these things on the side and earn some extra cash. So not a bad thing. And again, you can work in a restaurant, helping out with cooking stuff. And by the way, I don't mean like some fancy restaurant. You can work in a restaurant where you don't have to be a culinary 4-year expert with a $100,000 student loan. Then you went to France. The answer is no. You can be an average person, just get some training, and boom, you're working there and making a few extra dollars on the weekends and also after work. Not bad if you enjoy cooking. I enjoy cooking, but for myself. And the minute I get married, I'll help out every now and then, but I do it because I have to. I have to do it because or else I'll starve or eat out too much and so on. But it's not my thing. But if you like it though, that is something you can do. And of course, I'll help my wife out. Okay, I'm not like, oh, they got to do all the stuff, but you know, like it's not really my forte, if you may say. Okay, number 6, HVAC. 97% of these jobs are held by men. And that's, for example, everything air conditioning, everything heating, and so on. Now, obviously, you do need training between 6 months to 2 years and so on, but you can get paid a lot of money. I think the average job in this field pays around $70,000. So even doing it part-time can earn you some extra money. And again, you can do this on the weekend. And if you're doing it yourself, you can say, hey, I work after 3 p.m. or after 5 p.m. when you're off of work or on the weekends and so on. But again, this is one of those things that if you have the skill to do this, I don't see it why you won't take it full time. But if you just want to do it part time, that's also a way to do it. And if you want to help somebody that has the license and you say, hey, I want to help you, whether it's, for example, making the holes in the wall, making the cuts, doing the cleanup, there's a lot of other jobs within jobs. So you can basically do those and earn some extra money. Like, does that make sense? Like being a plumber. That requires a lot of work, but you can do an apprentice or you can be like a helper where you basically get him everything he needs and do all the hard work and so on. So that way he can just focus on the things that actually require him to use his mind to actually get it done. Does that make sense? Doing the heavy lifting. That's the idea. Now, that's a great job if you ask me. Now, number 7, I was surprised by this one. Video production, everything from filming to editing to photography, we dominate. 80% are men here. So don't just think about, I want to film the Marvels part-time, because that's a lot harder, obviously. But think a lot, for example, a lot of indie films, or just films that are basically just getting started, or just, for example, normal editing work for companies and their logos and so on. So all those jobs can be found, for example, on Upwork, Craigslist, Facebook. But most importantly, think also being a photographer for weddings, doing menus at restaurants. You take those photos, like you got to take those, okay? On top of that picture, also real estate. So real estate, you got a house. Who does photography? That can also be you. So that's also extra money. On the weekends, you can also do. Imagine you do like 10 houses on a weekend, and you charge per house $100 or like $250 like per house or whatever, being a photographer. The answer is that is not an accurate amount of money, by the way, but I'm just telling you, you can make a good amount of money on the side. Not bad if you ask me. Number 8. This one is massive because it does require a lot of training, okay? But 90% are men, and that is being a part-time pilot. And even being a part-time pilot, you can earn $50K and up. And I was like, how do you be a part-time pilot? The answer is, well, on the weekends, and you do charter jets for other people and so on, right? So they kind of call you in when they need you. Now, this means 50K and up, but in reality, this means 3 to 4 years of schooling, maybe 2 potentially. If you do like an express training program and so on. But being a pilot is very difficult. The training is very intense. So again, it's something you can do part-time while you build up to a full-time potentially. It all depends on how you actually want to get it done. But it is a great career, and we do dominate it. Now, number 9 is landscaping part-time. This one I was like, all right, this kind of makes sense, but $15 an hour and so on to do landscaping. And again, you don't need to be, ooh, I have this whole design idea for how this is gonna look, whatever. No, like you have a landscaping company, you work for them part-time, they tell you move this, move that, move this. We already know exactly what we want, and you kind of get it done part-time and you get some extra money like that. But if you do have that mind to bring somebody's like ideas into the real world, that's also extra money on the side too, okay? That aspect of the landscaping with the creative side of it, okay? Then you have number 10, lastly, mechanic part-time. Again, this does require some training. Now you can either work for a mechanic where you help them out with the store and everything like that, or you can become a mechanic part-time, which is 2 to 5 years of training. But whenever you hear 5 years, remember, these are average numbers. There are training programs out there that get you there a lot faster. And the answer is, if you do this part-time, it's a job where part-time cool, but full-time you can make even so much money too. Like I go to take my car to Toyota and they're like, yeah, $70 an hour for this problem. I'm like, wow, this is amazing. You guys make a good amount of money. And I'm always like excited about it. Okay, this is great work. So that's the answer. Those are 10 very solid side hustle possibilities for men. And yes, you know, there are jobs that women dominate. For example, like the real estate agents, most of them are women. Dog training, most of them are women. And also teachers, most of them are women. Women dominate a lot of jobs, okay? But if you are a man and you're interested in those jobs, likewise, if you're a woman and you're interested in some of these jobs, the answer is no one's stopping you. Like, jobs are jobs. Okay, so again, I can't be canceled. Now that I said that, right? Because I don't want to be canceled, okay?
Nah, bro, it's no way.
All right, so we're good. Yeah, so dominating jobs are jobs, and that's all that matters, okay? So overall, guys, these are 10 solid ideas that I believe also you can take it from just being a part-time thing to a full-time blown thing if you actually want to. And by the way, just one last lesson here, and I want you to comment down below job so I know you're a real person and you made it all the way here. But remember, a lot of these things, these side hustle jobs, should be done for a purpose, for a goal, like to actually have some stability, okay? But if your plan is I'm gonna work so hard and I'm gonna provide for my kids, be careful becoming a provider and not actually a father or a father figure or a guardian or whatever you actually want to be. I know so many dads that all they do is work. They come home, they're so tired, and they have no time for their wives or their kids and all that stuff, and it's just terrible. Or just single guys that all they do is work. Like, that stuff is not sustainable. Like, you need some balance in your life. But if you have a short-term goal where you're like, hey, I gotta save for this house, for this college thing, or whatever it is, do it for a short period of time, but understand you have to put in even more effort at home to be present, because this stuff is not sustainable whatsoever. And I see people struggle with this a lot, okay? But that's my lesson. Thanks for watching. Again, comment down below job with your comments so I know you're a real person. And also, If you have even more ideas that I did not cover here, well, comment them down below also, so a lot of us can get even more ideas on things we can possibly do on the side. Again, thanks for watching. As always, like, subscribe, hit the bell so you get notified, comment down below what job, so I know you're a person. And as always, another video here, and my face is here. Click and subscribe. And as always, long-term team officially out. Follow me on Instagram, by the way, at TommyBryson. All right, great. I think we're good. No cancellation.